for another intro.
I've been slacking on the intro, so
You may be asking yourself, why, Rachel, is your intro travel stuff? And the answer to that question is something I cannot tell you yet. But today, my friends, is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, even though you'll be seeing this on Sunday. But I hope y'all are eating delicious food, being grateful. We're always extra grateful during this time. But I think that gratitude is something people should practice every single day. I know in psychology, it's a big thing to write down every morning 3 things that you're grateful for. It can help depression, it can help change your mindset. But I think there's another side. It's not just the positives. The example that I always love to give, and I will say it again and again, is that life is like a garden. And if you want a better garden, planting new flowers is only half of the job. The other half of the job is to pull out the weeds. Negative thoughts, trauma that lives in the body, bad habits, bad training, bad childhood, whatever it is, we all have weeds in our life. And if we're just throwing in more flowers and planting more seeds, we might grow a few new good ones here and there, but new flowers does not kill the weeds. So it doesn't matter how beautiful the new plants are, they're not going to uproot the old plants that you don't want anymore. You might ask, okay, so how do you pull out the weeds then? The only way that has worked for me is going deep into the root of where the weeds come from. The seed is the thoughts. Something happens in life that hurts or causes you to think, I'm not good enough, people don't like me, I won't fit in, I'm never gonna succeed, I'm always gonna fail. It usually is like a never statement or an always statement, or I'm not this or I'm too that. And those thoughts over a long period of time turn into beliefs. I'll never be good enough is a very common one that people have, that we don't necessarily know that thought is an underlying cause of why we're not as happy as we want to be. Because it's been there for so long, you don't notice it anymore. That's what the difference is between the original thought and then it turning into this like subconscious reaction. Now there's all these external things that trigger that belief, but you're not having the thought anymore. It just goes straight to the heart. You have to think back. When was the first time that I felt stressed? When was the first time that I felt not good enough? When was the first time that I blamed someone else for how I felt? When was the first time that I felt like I was wrong or bad? Whatever it is, go back to the original event and see, what was I thinking? What did I let that make me think about myself? And chances are, whatever it is, it's not true. They're usually beliefs about ourselves that turn into beliefs about others, which is why everything is a projection. So if people don't like you, or if somebody's treating you badly, this is why you should never take this personal, because that is a reflection of how they treat themselves, how they feel about themselves. If they're insulting you and judging you, chances are in their head every single day, that's how they're feeling. If they're not making choices that are out of love, they're making choices out of judgment and dislike and disapproval and whatever. And that's why when people are doing that, we shouldn't judge them back and say, you're judgmental. Then that's our own projection. That when people judge us, we do take it personally because they're not actually making us believe those things. What they're doing is they're hitting a wound that's already there. If you think about it, if somebody hits you, it hurts. But if they hit you in a spot that's already sore and has bruises or cuts, or it's an open wound, it's gonna hurt a lot more. And that's when you see people who are overreacting. They're not overreacting. An open wound is being hit. And you might not have been the one who caused the original wound, but you're triggering that response where they're feeling the original pain all over again. Basically, it comes from an experience or childhood or the people that were around. Maybe they act that way, they aren't very self-loving, or people were abusing you. I'm not saying it's okay to be abused or that you should excuse these people or let them treat you badly. What I'm saying is that you have to understand that they're treating you badly because they treat themselves badly, and then you're able to see that you should have compassion for them. It doesn't mean that you let them in your life, but it doesn't mean that you send out hate. Like, you don't solve things that way. I think if you can understand the people who hurt you the most, the people who traumatize you, the people who caused you those original wounds, if you can forgive that, there is literally nothing in this life that will bring you down. There's no one that you will point the finger at as to why you're not happy. You'll take responsibility over your own life and realize that it's up to you and only you. Nobody else can fix what goes on in here. Nobody can pull out your weeds for you. And I know that we wish somebody could just do it for us, give us a happy pill and fix it and make it all go away. Like, we wish that there was some quick overnight thing. And most of the time, it's a daily practice. You can't just pull out the weeds one time and then not do it for the rest of the year. You can't just plant flowers one time and then never do it again. Taking care of yourself is the same as taking care of anything. People say motivation doesn't last, and neither does showering. That's why you have to shower every day. You eat every day, drink water every day. And we sort of treat things with our mind and mental health like, oh, I go to my therapist once a week, or I do something nice for myself once a week or once a month. You need to prioritize it every single day. Something else I heard before that really stuck with me: positive thinking doesn't work. Positive thinking it's a hard road. If you think that positive thinking is going to change your life, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's not. Positive thinking is a symptom of somebody who's thinking accurately. Positive thinking is not something that you practice or do. It's a result of seeing reality as it is, not making judgments on them, not blaming other people, and taking responsibility for your own actions, your own thoughts, and your own words. Positive thinking is, I can do this thing that I know is not good for me and it's not going to affect me. Accurate thinking is, I don't want to do this thing that's bad for me because I care about myself. I'm not saying to beat yourself up if you're not doing that. I'm not saying that you need to sit there and feel even worse because you're like, oh, I'm so bad at taking care of myself. It's just realizing that all the things that happen to you aren't your fault, but it is your responsibility. Once you can take that responsibility into your own hands and stop blaming everyone else for why you're not happy, then you're free to be in control of your own joy and your own peace. That's my little tangents for the week. I literally don't prepare these. I just wing it, y'all. Please don't forget, like, subscribe, share this with a friend who needs to hear it. I love you guys. I hope you had a wonderful, grateful week. Even if it was bad, I hope you're grateful for that too, because everything has a lesson. Everything has a good outcome. I know it's cheesy, but it's true, okay? All right, goodbye.